Ladies and gentlemen, these next 10 to 15 minutes have the potential to change your life forever. Look, this business model generated me over $15,000 in 7 days on my first ever try. And for some proof, right here we have 2 wires. Now, how did I make these $15,000 in just 7 days? Well, essentially, it's called wholesaling real estate. Let's break it down. Step 1. You're going to find a distressed property. What a distressed property really is any property that needs fixing up. For example, an old roof, outdated interior, or anything that the property needs to make it look better and to get it to its full valuation. Now, 90% of the time, a distressed property leads to a motivated seller. And understand this. Understanding the motivation of your seller is the only way you will make this deal happen. What is a motivated seller? A motivated seller is a seller who needs to sell their property. Not wants to, but he needs to sell his property. That's exactly why they are willing to sell their home to you. The seller is going to lose on money going with you because you're going to be offering them under market value for their home. But that is exactly where you are going to make your money. So, what are the types of seller motivation? These are the main types of seller motivation. Reason number 1, being sick, having to pay for hospital bills. Those rack up and these sellers need cash quickly usually. Secondly, facing pre-foreclosure. Facing pre-foreclosure can be used as a term to pretty much mean that the seller needs cash quickly. But the way you play that against the seller is when you go into foreclosure, you will most probably never be able to buy a home in your life again. Your credit score is going to be at 0. No one's going to trust you. No banks are going to lend you money. No sellers are going to let you rent at their place because you were in foreclosure. It's a big no-no. Secondly, moving somewhere ASAP. Let's say someone got a job opportunity in a completely different state and they start in a week. They don't have time to go on market with an agent. They have to sell the house quick. They need quick cash so they can buy a new house or rent a new property somewhere else to the place they're moving to. Next, these sellers have probably tried selling on the market with a real estate agent before, but no one is willing to buy. That's either because their price is too high or because just the market isn't hot in that area. And these all come down to the single reason that these sellers need cash. During the entire sales process, when you're talking to the seller of the home, between you and the seller, you're going to play into their motivation to sell. For example, seller needs cash because he's moving to Austin, Texas for his wife's work and they need to buy a place there right away. His wife is starting to work there in 2 weeks. They don't have time to wait 2 to 6 months and sell their home with a real estate agent for on-market value. They need the cash now. So, what you're going to do is this. This is step 2 of wholesaling real estate. You will give them a full cash offer for their home. Assuming the home is worth $320,000 on the market, which means after all the repairs are done, after the home is ready to move into, you will offer them cash somewhere in the range of the 200s mark. You will explain to them that you are an investor and you are going to have to repair the home and then you will be able to sell it. Remember, this is key. You are not the investor, but you will be assigning the contract that you have between the seller and yourself and an investor who's going to fix the property up and then going to sell it. For example, let's use this property. The value of the home after all repairs is about $320,000 like we said. Let's assume the property needs about $30,000 in repairs. You already know you're in at $290,000. Secondly, the investor, the end buyer of this property, is going to want to make some money as well. So let's assume he wants to make just $50,000 on this property. $290,000, which is where we got the $320,000 minus the $30,000 for repairs, we're at $290,000, minus the $50,000 the investor wants to make on this property, you're at $240,000. But wait, that right there is what the end buyer, your investor, is going to buy this property for you from. But you need to make some money as well. So, let's assume you want to make just $25,000 on this deal. $240,000 minus $25,000 equals $215,000. Real quick, how did we get the $240,000? We had $320,000 minus the $30,000 in repairs, we're at $290,000, minus the $50,000 that the investor wants to make on this property, we're at $240,000. Now, $240,000 minus our assignment fee of $25,000, we're at $215,000. That right there is what you're going to offer the seller for their home in full cash. Remember, the seller is moving to Austin and needs the cash now. They don't have time to wait to go on market with the real estate agent, go through all these showings, wait 2 to 6 months to accept an offer. They just don't have time to wait. So they're going to accept your offer of $215,000 in full cash. It's either that or they live in the street in Austin. And that is key and exactly why seller motivation is necessary to make these real estate wholesale transactions work. Moving forward, they accepted your offer of $215,000. So now you send them over a contract called a purchase and sales agreement. They signed. Step 3 of the process begins. This is the easiest step in wholesaling real estate. This is called the disposition stage. You will find an investor who will purchase the home for $215,000 you agreed on, plus the $25,000 that you want to make on this deal. So what you're going to do is offer this deal to investors at $240,000, which remember is still under market value. The market value for this property is $320,000. $215,000 goes to the purchase price of the home. That will go to the seller, and $25,000 remaining will go to you as your profit. That right there is called your assignment fee. Now, how are you going to find these investors? It's very, very simple. There's 3 main ways. Number 1, Facebook groups. Very, very simple, self-explanatory. Number 2, Zillow. Number 3, paid platforms such as InvestorLift and others. Now, some examples for these Facebook groups are cash buyers in Houston, assuming that this person is moving from Houston to Austin for work. Cash buyers in Houston, investors in Houston. Just play with those words and you will find investors who buy in full cash. That is it. That is the entire wholesale process. We talked about getting the property under contract. We talked about finding a buyer. And remember, in wholesaling, you are the middleman. That's all there is to it. Step number 4, my favorite step, and should be yours. You get paid either like this or like this, but essentially, once the property has been closed on, meaning the investor brings the cash, the title company transferred the deed of the home over to your investor. So the property goes over, let's say the seller's name is Mary and your investor's name is John. The deed of the property goes from Mary to John. Just like that, title is complete. The transaction has been completed. From there, the $215,000 will automatically go to the seller. The investor will get their property, and you will get the middle. You will get the cut in the middle, which is your $25,000. The beautiful thing about this is that the process takes a maximum of 30 days, meaning you can rinse and repeat the system every single month. A direct wire of your assignment fee will hit your account, just like these two. And the best part, that wholesaling real estate is 100% virtual. You can do it from the comfort of your home. Never step foot in a property, never put your own cash down, anything like that. It is 100% profit margins. A simple 3-step process that will get you paid 4, 5, or even 6-figure assignment fees every single month. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this is by far the most efficient way to stack cash quickly. That is it for this video. I really hope you understood what wholesaling real estate really is and what the process looks like. I'll be posting more and more of these in-depth videos every single week. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you see every single video I drop that is going into depth on how sick and simple this cash printing business model really is.